Everybody, better for the Bonehead podcast, and welcome to Top 5 Friday. On a Friday, we get together and we have a look at the top 5 things normally to do with Blood Bowl. So, I think timeline-wise, the new edition is out tomorrow. It's currently on pre-order, and there's a bunch of cool new stuff in this edition. And one of the cool new stuffs in this edition is the way that skills work. Now, there's a new skill tree with Devious. We did a Theory Thursday on that last week, but I thought I'd highlight what I think are some of the better, almost impactful new skills or skill changes for this edition, because I think it's one of the things you should think about going through as you're starting to brew up players, that there's new options here, and I think there's some really fun ones here. So this is going to be my top 5 skill improvements. Okay, coming in at number 5, we have got shadowing. So I think we've already covered this a couple of times because it is a devious skill now. And quite frankly, that's one of the best improvements here, is it's no longer taking up space in the general tree. Shadowing has come out and we've got Taunt in there sort of to replace it. So basically, shadowing. Each time an opposing player attempts to dodge out of a square within this player's tackle zone, this player may use this skill. Roll a d6 on a 4+. That's it. Just on a 4+ it works now, and you can use it as many times as your guy has movement. So if you've got a little nobility guy and he's got shadowing, if someone dodges out on a 4+, you get to follow him up. Now, if you've got multiple people with shadowing and base contact, you can only use it once. Only one of those players can use it. But I think this is a fantastic improvement for a couple of reasons. One, it being gone from the general tree, it means it's just better, right? The second thing is, it means that even a player with rubbish movement can still trigger shadowing. Like, we had this in the championship where Trumpets, one of our snotlings, saved up to 6 SPP, took a random double general and got shadowing, and it never ever came up. Actually, I think it came up once, and obviously it would needed to be a natural 6. Now it's a devious skill. I still don't think it's going to get taken particularly highly, but if your guy ends up with a random, and you can only take random primary now, so it would have to be basically a person with access to devious, so you've got goblins and stuff like that, it still props on a 4+, which is wicked. But the other thing is that those players that already have shadowing, so your assassins, your chameleon skinks, there's no more maths. It doesn't matter who you're chasing, just on a 4+ you will follow up. And I think that is such a clever rule change. Like, yeah, there's going to be some times where you roll a 3 and it would have worked in the old edition, but actually it doesn't matter so much. You're still just kind of I just think the mental improvement is so much better. And I think, quite frankly, we're going to see shadowing just used a lot more, and it's probably going to work a lot more. So yeah, for me, number 5 is shadowing. Okay, coming in at number 4, we've got another devious skill, and this is a new skill, so I'm kind of highlighting this one because I think this is going to come up quite a lot. I like this a lot. So Lone Fowler, this is a devious skill, so this can only be taken by those players with access to devious skills. That includes Dirty Player, but this one just lets you re-roll an armor roll. So Lone Fowler, when this player performs a foul action, if there are no players providing an offensive or defensive assist, then this player may re-roll a failed armor roll. So I really like this. You can still take Dirty Player and it's just going to give you Mighty Blow all the time. This one was good. Dirty Player was going to be on this spot, but I thought actually we'd use it as an opportunity to highlight Lone Fowler instead, because I mean, there are some players out here that want to put the boot in that this could be really effective for. So, you know, think about Black Orcs and stuff like that, taking a block, using grab to chuck a guy down. As long as the Black Orc is not able to provide an assist, the Goblin in the backfield can just have a crack at breaking the armor with a reroll. Now, the reason I'm flagging this versus Dirty Player is I think Dirty Player is better most of the time, if not all the time, but Lone Fowler will be really good when your opponent takes one of those dodgy little low armor stars. Okay, yes, gutter runners, war dancers, stuff like that. If they fall over and you've got a chance to bring a lone fowler in to have a crack at the armor roll, think about it. I think you're looking at I don't know, like a very high percentage chance you're going to be able to break the armor using this skill with that reroll. So I think that's why it's so good. It's a great new skill. It's a nice thing to have that's different than Dirty Player. And the scary thing is, it also works with Dirty Player. Okay, number 3. This is a skill you will have all seen if you've been following some of the new teams, and the reason I've put it on this list is it's available for everybody. So this is Steady Footing. So Steady Footing, when this player would be knocked down or fall over, roll a d6. On a 6, this player does not get knocked down or fall over. If this happens during their activation, they may continue their activation as normal and no turnover will be caused. So the reason it's on the list, I think, first of all, a 6+ ward save against everything bad ever. it's probably worth paying attention to. But when it comes to the fact that it's now a general skill, it means that if you are taking a random primary skill, you've got 2 shots to grab this every single time you do that. So it's likely that this skill is going to be kicking around. And also, there are going to be some builds where this is probably not a bad one to take. So any kind of player that needs a bit of defense, any player that's going to be brawling, any player that's going to be out there doing stuff, it's not the best skill. Like dodge and block are obviously much better. But I think Steady Footing is going to come into play, and I think we're going to see some really fun blitzer builds and some potentially very frustrating like gutter runner builds and stuff like that. Block, dodge, Steady Footing, you just cannot drop that player because you have to natural pow, and then when you do natural pow them, they've got a 6+ ward save for that to not be a problem. And this is like the most best sure feet ever. Sure feet Steady Footing, reroll, and I've got a 6+ ward save to just carry on going anyway. Like, it is only a 6, so I do not want to oversell this because it is not going to absolutely change the game. But I think this is just because it is a general skill, because it's available, and because I think at the moment we've seen it on the Bretonnian Blitzer. But we're going to see it more than just on the Bretonnian Blitzer, and I think that's going to take some people by surprise. So yeah, for me, number 3, Steady Footing. Number 2, and I think this is a massive thing for the game as well. No, it's not punt. Spoiler alert, that's not going to appear. But hit and run is now a full-on skill that any player can take, assuming that they have agility access. And quite frankly, all the players that you want to hit and run are going to probably want agility access. The downside is that this doesn't actually prop with chainsaw and stuff like that. That would have just been so cool. But now any agility player, when a player with this skill performs a block action or a stab special action, after fully resolving the action, they may immediately move 1 free square, ignoring tackle zones so long as they are still standing. The player must ensure that they're free, blah, 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 blah. They're not tagging, or they're not marking or being marked by another player. So basically, you blitz or block once you've followed up, or not, that's up to you. Once you've followed up and rolled armor, if there's a square next to you that is not being touched by any opponent player, you can just move into it. So the reason this is so big is, 1, it's going to keep some of your strikers alive, 2, it's going to keep them mobile, but 3, it's going to give you an extra square of movement. So gutter runner, potentially, who now has stab, this is key. Sprint, stab, 9 squares of movement, rush, okay, that's 11 squares of movement. Am I going to be 1 short here? Yeah, I am. Rush again, because you've got sprint, 12 squares of movement, and if you can get a hit and run in there where you can actually follow up and then disengage in a diagonal, and when you're trying to go for a cheeky one-turner, you're probably going to have a shot at that. This is wicked. I am loving this. Sprint, hit and run, gutter runner, up, stab, off you go. It's a touchdown. I love that so much, obviously, but Obviously, I'm raising this because it's just one of those skills that's been really good on Amazons. It's been really useful, and now it works with stab and is on the assassin for the Dark Elf team. It's going to come up more, and I think it's going to be one of those skills that gets taken by some of the more agile blitzers, so maybe Dark Elf blitzers, the movement 8, potentially blodging blitzer that the humans have got that was formerly known as the Catcher. There's some really cool stuff here, and I really do like that this is now a full-blown skill. Ooh, it's just mega tempting. And coming in at number 1 is the skill I think we are all going to have to pay attention to in this edition, because it becomes a really cool choice. And you know what, it could be very violent. So this is Break Tackle, and in this edition Break Tackle got good again. So once per turn, when this player attempts to dodge, they may apply a +1 modifier to the agility test. That's great if they have strength 3 or lower. It's +2 if they're strength 4, and it's +3 if they're strength 5 or more. So how do you feel about a big guy taking a +3 to a dodge roll? That means Minotaurs and Ogres are 1+ dodge in places. That's pretty tasty, but that's not the thing, right? The thing here, okay, well, let's start. It is a thing because actually, you know, a tree man being able to take a 2+ block into the 2+ dodge into the open now, that means they're actually a bit better. Any Ag 4+ big guy with Break Tackle becomes a legitimate blitzing threat, right? So the Minotaur, 2+ into the open. No, 1+ into the open. 3, 2, 1. So that's a 2+ into 1 tackle zone. That's a 2+ blitzing Minotaur into 1 tackle zone. Yeah, all right. But the reason this is on the list is not actually because of big guys, it's because of the medium guys and gals. So there are 2 players I am licking my lips thinking about Break Tackle with. And spoiler alert, we're probably going to get these teams in the Bonehead Championship, but join us for the podcast this weekend for us to go through which teams are going to be in the Bonehead Championship and the Gutter Bowl. You've got vampires. Now, all vampires are good all of the time anyway, but you've got the Vampire Blitzer. And the Vampire Blitzer has always kind of just been in the shadows a little bit. And yes, that is a vampire joke. It's just kind of overshadowed by the thrower, right? But the Vampire Blitzer with Hypnogaze, Juggernaut, and Regeneration with a primary skill access of Agility, General, and Strength can take this skill. And he is Strength 4. And he's Ag 2+. So that is a dodge of 0+. So that's into 1 tackle zone for a 1+ dodge. That's 2 tackle zones for a 2+ dodge. And that's 3 tackle zones for a 3+ dodge. And this is on a team that has Hypnogaze, so the likelihood of you needing to jump into 3 tackle zones is significantly lessened. I think this skill is just going to allow you to 2+ into tackle zones and blitz through a cage, and then provide a strength 4 blitz with Juggernaut with just this skill. That is monstrous. Vampires are brutal. Now, the fact that Hypnogaze now triggers on a 3+ forever instead of what was essentially a 2+ forever is a bit less, but I think this kind of allows some even more egregious and direct abuse of power. And talking about egregious and direct abuse of power, this is the Amazon team, and the Jaguar Warrior, i.e. the Amazon Blocker, movement 6, strength 4. Ag 3+, defensive and dodge. With general and strength on a primary, that means that the Amazon Blocker can take block, absolutely. Strength 4 block is pretty sweet. Break Tackle with an Ag of 3+ and a strength 4 with dodge means that that player gets a 1+ dodge with a reroll into the open, which again means a 2+ dodge into 1 tackle zone with a reroll and a 3+ dodge. It's just filthy. There's some brilliant and exciting combinations here for big guys just being really scary, and those medium guys, just there's a couple of players there, and that just does a beautiful job of making it threatening and terrifying. So I love Break Tackle for that. But there are a few cool new skills in this game, and that's the thing I'm absolutely loving about going through this book, going through all the stuff, going through all the teams, like with the team guides and everything, because the way the skill trees have changed is quite cool. the way the skill access has changed really adds flavor to the teams when you think about developing them. And the fact that a lot of players in the game have had a little extra skill or a couple of extra bits kind of chucked in there is really cool. Now, just the list of skills that are brand new to this edition: Violent Innovator, Saboteur, Quick Foul, Put the Boot in, Lone Fowler, Lethal Flight, Eye Gouge. Then you've got Steady Footing, you've got Taunt, which is a wicked one. Monstrous Mouth has changed. Passing wise, you've got Punt is now a skill. Give and Go is here, but it's just a better version of running past, so I really like that. Strength, you've got Bullseye now, which is a new skill too. So there's a lot of good and new stuff going on, which means there's a lot of cool new combinations. But for me, Break Tackle, Hit and Run, Steady Footing are three really interesting combo-y skills that I think could be really cool. Lone Fowler is going to come up as a cool alternate choice to Dirty Player, and again, a bit of a filthy combo. I mean, imagine that. Imagine getting to re-roll a failed armor roll and then adding +1 to the casualty. Oh, it's just, yeah, that's brutal. And the fact that shadowing just is not bad now, I think is a huge win, because there is going to be some great situations where little shadowing, like little snotlings and stuff, are just going to be a massive pain. I think that's really fun. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below, and we'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy blocking.